what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at one of my special favorite filming spot locations because we got one power-packed little SUV for you. This is it. This is a 2022 Mazda CX-30. This particular one, though, has a turbocharged engine and all-wheel drive. But before we get into this soul red Mazda with some soul, let's talk about what's going on here. Mazda. They've been around since the late 1920s. Actually, 1929 is when the company was created. They didn't make cars. They didn't make SUVs. They didn't make anything with an engine. They actually made cork. They were a producer of cork. In the 1930s, they made their first vehicle called the Mazda Go, which was a three-wheeled pickup truck. And now fast forward to model year 2022, they have a full lineup of SUVs, but they're also building that world famous Mazda Miata. Now, when it comes to small size, compact, or I should say subcompact crossover SUVs, the competition is fierce. From the Kia Seltos, the Nissan Kicks, the Hyundai Kona, well, guess what? There's one of the baddest that's been around for a while, the Honda HR-V. That really is the main arch nemesis to this CX-30. But what I want to find out is, does Mazda have the right recipe to make the better, smaller crossover SUV over the Honda HR-V? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this soul red CX-30 and find out. Right off the bat, the size. This is definitely a subcompact. The bigger version of this would be called the CX-5, and that is Mazda's #1 selling vehicle that they have in their lineup currently in the United States. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna get that great, sporty, sleek design. Very small on the headlight housing, LED projector beam style headlight, and of course you're also gonna get your LED turn signals and your LED daytime running lamp. Now you'll notice a little bit of shiny chrome, which I wish this was dark chrome. I'm not gonna zonk it because it does look pretty good. I just wish it was a dark chrome finish, and you'll see why when we get around the side of the vehicle. Now on the lower portion, here's your turn signals, low, slim and trim, nicely into the front fascia, no fake vents, nothing stuck on, super clean styling. And that's something I love about all the Mazdas, from the CX-9 down to the MX-5 Miata. Little bit of flat black, takes a better beating than gloss black. And then as we come across the low slung nose, you get a nice mixture of some materials. We have this metallic gloss black multi-studded grille, forward-facing camera, and of course the Mazda badge. We got that chrome trim, and if you notice at the trim, it actually mimics the Mazda logo. So that's where they get that overall design. And then on the lower portion, you have a massive lower air opening with this lip that extends out because we have a large intercooler behind the front fascia. That's because we have a turbocharged power plant. Now, as we get up onto the hood, what I really love is there's no hard edges. Everything has a nice, smooth form to it. It's almost like they took a block of clay and just really rounded it out nicely. You can see how that front grille area kind of extends out just enough to where the headlights are sunken in to give it a unique look. And then as we come around the bend, here's where we're gonna see some of that sporty black touches to the vehicle. So you're gonna get these unique gloss black wheels. And this is why I was saying the dark chrome would have a better finish to it. If you're wondering, well, what's the size of this wheel? 18-inch wheel. Now what's interesting is when you go to the top trim on the HR-V, you actually get a 17-inch wheel. You have to go sport, which is the mid trim on the HR-V, to get an 18-inch wheel. I know it doesn't make sense, but not everything in this world makes sense, that's for sure. But I am digging the 18-inch wheel. Simple design, but nice and sporty. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the tire? 215 on the width, 55 series sidewall, and like I said, all-wheel drive to the ground. The one thing that I think is gonna be the biggest zonk, a little too much flat black cladding. Let me know what you think about the cladding on this CX-30. If this was painted red, man, I think it would really add to the extra look, especially soul red. Soul red, it's almost like the sheet metal is illuminated through electrification, and that's the shine that's coming off the paint. That's really what it looks like, I promise. Now, as we go down the side, you are gonna get gloss black, sparkly gloss black on the mirror caps, turn signals, nicely implanted perfectly, And then here's a little bit more of the shiny bright metal. If it was dark chrome, it would really just blend in nicely, but it is a little bright both on the roof rails and on the lower trim. The good news is it's just along the bottom portion. The roof rails I can live with, and you do have a standard size sunroof. There's more of that cladding. Let me know how you feel. Is that too high? Do you want it up here? Do you want it down here? Tell me in the comment section. Working our way towards the rear, smaller, subcompact. I like the way it's got that nice rounded fender instead of a hard body line. Even with where the door is for the fuel filler, nice and rounded and curved. And then as we swing all the way around the back, just like the headlights, Mazda does a bang up job on the taillights. LED all the way around, not like the HR-V where you got those Thomas Edison light bulbs. Of course, you have a stubby gloss black roof spoiler. I'm gonna let the wiper slide. The reason why is all of them in the subcompact category, from Seltos, HR-V, CHR, and everything in between. They all have rear wipers. CX-30 with all-wheel drive, so you got a little bit of badging on the driver's side. And then guess what? We got a little bit of badging on the passenger side. Sky Active turbocharge. Now, one thing that is added is this aluminum trim along the bumper. This is so that your kids, when they're dragging their stuff out, because we all know they can't lift something out, they have to drag it out. It's not gonna scratch the heck out of your bumper. And then as we go all the way down, the nice thing is you have functional exhausts on both sides, stainless steel tip, oval opening / cut, one on each side to give it a nice balanced look. There's some cars that cost twice as much as this thing that doesn't have a nice functional exhaust that you could see, hear, and feel. Just don't feel it when it's on because it's probably gonna burn you. But it's on this CX-30. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk numbers on this turbocharged Mazda. All right guys, we got the hood pop. Now I'm not gonna zonk the pop rod because guess what? All of them have a prop rod in this segment. But underneath the hood, semi-tasteful engine cover. At least you're getting a turbo badge and the Mazda badge, but it's really not about the cover or the badge. It's about what is powering the CX-30, and this is where it's just gonna lay the smack down on a Honda HR-V. So you're looking at a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline four that produces 250 horsepower, 320 pound-feet of torque. It's not made into a CVT. Thank you, Mazda. It's got a 6-speed traditional torque converter automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in this subcompact 5.7 seconds. Top speed is governed to 128 miles per hour. MPGs, 22 in the city, 30 on the highway. The vehicle weighs 3,472 pounds. And that's the thing I gotta give it to Mazda, is that this turbocharged power plant is the same power plant you could get in a CX-50, a CX-9, a CX-5. They're all larger than this vehicle, but yet they have the same power in a smaller size. But you know what? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let me show you what this CX-30 Turbo looks like on throttle. All right, guys, we're inside this Soul Red, probably one of the prettiest colors on any automobile in the history of the automobile. But I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want something smaller. I don't need some big 20-passenger SUV. I want something that has a little bit of pep, because if somebody passes me on a skateboard, it just doesn't make my day. So I'm digging what's going on with the CX-30, but I guess the question is, how much is it? Very good question. MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, you're looking right around $35,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Now you're getting that great premium feel in here without going too premium on the price. Soft touch material. It's a two-tone black with like a milk chocolate brown. Not my favorite, but I do like the stitching. You got the Bose sound system, and there's a little bit of gloss around the switch gear, so I am gonna zonk that, but everything else is nice, soft touch material. Door pocket is a really good size to where you could get two Taco Bell chalupas in there, and a bottle of sweet tea to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, same story. Milk chocolate, and then you have your darker material, soft touch, both top and in the middle with the stitching. What's interesting is that they do a good job trying to hide the AC vents. I just wish they would make this all AC vent. That'd really blow you away. But then coming over to the infotainment system, this is where things get a little bumpy, I know for some. It's got an 8.8-inch system, which to me, I'm fine with. The only thing is that if you're gonna give me this housing that's large, make the screen. So you could technically probably make this a 10-inch, maybe like a 9.5. The big zonk, I'm sure many of you would say, is that it's not a touchscreen. I mean, you could touch it, it just doesn't do anything. So you have your navigation, put it in reverse, super clear. They updated the cameras on this bad boy, super clear on the resolution. I mean, look at that. With your 360, your trajectory, put it into park, and we're right back where we started. Working our way down, more soft touch material. Love the dual climate controls. Nice click, 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 click every time you turn it. We have 3 stages of heated seats, heated steering wheel, and there's your start stop button. Down below, we got a cubby, the size, perfect size for 1 Twinkie. 2 cup holders, and the problem with this in the zonk is you can't put your big Yeti cans. So leave the Yetis at home, or a Bigfoot bottle you can't put in here. You just can't. This is gonna control your 6-speed automatic transmission. I know everybody says, where's a 10-speed, a 20-speed? I feel the 6-speed works just fine. You do have this gloss black. It does have a little bit of a material behind it, but still gonna give you, as you can see, fingerprints. You got your switch to go into sport real easily, or you click it back down, on or off, real simple. Direct drive control knob, volume knob, and then you do have a center console lid that slides forward, or you can slide it back, or you could open it up. Inside you got 2 USB-A's, a 12 volt, and enough room in there, I would say, for 4 Game Boys. So if you're still playing Tetris on your Game Boy, you could actually have 4 of them in there, so you can have 4 games going at once. Just don't leave it on pause too long, or you're gonna kill the battery. Seats, nice soft leather, perforated, soft bolstering. They are manual assist for the passenger. I have 8-way power adjustable for the driver. I'm not digging the lighter sunroof and the lighter headliner area. It just, I don't know, it reminds me of like a rental car, but you do have a standard size sunroof, which is nice. It's just, if this was dark headliner, I think it would just kind of blend in a little cleaner. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind this 3-spoke steering wheel in the Mazda CX-30. All right, guys, business time. You do get 2 memory seat settings, and there are your electric seat controls, 8-way adjustable seat. Nice soft material, very supportive. Plenty of headroom even with the sunroof, and then the steering wheel. Leather wrapped all the way around. Nice thin spoke. You got some silver buttons, some silver switches. We do have paddles to go up and down the 6-speed automatic transmission. It is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then guess what? We have our dash. Analog gauges with a digital gauge in the center. The digital gauge is so clear, it actually looks like an analog speedometer. But you can see, you can scroll through all this different information, which is nice. And then you also have a head-up display, so it really kind of balances all the information outputs nicely. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and see if your passenger is gonna be squished like a bug in the CX-30. All right, guys, back seat time. And now what I did was, the seats are not moved. This is exactly in the position where I was sitting. This is exactly in the position where Steven was sitting. And I still have some pretty decent leg room. Headroom, I'm kind of close to the headliner, but this is a subcompact. I think the one that probably has the most room on the interior is going to be the Kia Seltos. But comparing this to the HR-V, I think they're pretty much even Stevens. Backs of the seats, the leather, but there's no pocket for if you're sitting behind the driver. You do get rear AC vents, but that's it. No connectivity. That's a zonk. No 12 volt, no USBs, nothing. Not even 2 cans and a piece of string so that I could pretend like I'm talking to somebody. I have my pocket over here, so that's good news, because I would hate to have to hold on to my French baguette in between my legs while you're driving me down the road. That's gonna be uncomfortable for everybody. And then probably the softest armrest in the history of the automobile. 2 cup holders. No, like I said, no connectivity though. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the cargo area and see if Mazda proves that big things come in small packages in the CX-30. All right guys, cargo area time, real simple. Hit the button, nice electric assist. On the medium side when it comes to speed of raising, but you know what? You're gonna be surprised with the amount of room that you have. Not only is it 20 cubic feet of space with the seats up, I like how low the cargo floor is. I'll pick this up. You actually do have a spare, which is nice. A lot of vehicles are getting rid of spares. And then you have plenty of width and height. And then of course the seats will do the 60-40 split tango to give you even more room. But you know what? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and take this CX-30 for a little spin. All right guys, we're inside this 2022 Mazda CX-30 Turbo. Right away, I do like the way everything is laid out in here. I think the biggest complaint I'm probably gonna get from you guys is where the infotainment system screen is, how big it is, and that the fact that it's not a touchscreen. I do like the fact that the mode is real simple. Either you're in sport mode or you're not in sport mode. That is it. And I think that keeps everything very straightforward. Let's go ahead and go on throttle from a slow roll. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. This is where the CX-30 really excels, no pun intended, by having this turbocharged power plant option that really just smoke checks the competition, especially the HR-V. I mean, this vehicle is almost twice as fast 0 to 60 as the Honda HR-V. I do like having all the information right in the center, easy to understand, and the seats are absolutely superb. These are some of the most comfortable seats in any subcompact or compact vehicle. Nobody's behind us. We're gonna go on throttle from a dead stop. On throttle, here we go. Smooth shifts from that 6-speed automatic. And really, another area where the CX-30 excels is in the handling department. This is where that zoom factor that Mazda was so well known for comes to fruition and really allows this vehicle to be able to handle and accelerate very quickly for the type of vehicle that it is, and have that driver engagement, that driver enjoyment. It doesn't feel all squishy. It's not all soft around the edges. It really allows you to enjoy the act of driving, have some versatility, and the smaller size that you desire. But visibility is great. You got that nice, clear head-up display. And of course, you have all the safety features. Blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist. That's gonna make sure that you and your family stay safe. And then really, everywhere you touch in here does not feel that you're in a vehicle at this price point. You feel like you're in a higher premium level vehicle, which of course would have that higher premium price. Now, when you put it into sport mode, that's going to change how the engine and the transmission behaves with one another. You can use the paddles behind the steering wheel if you wanted to. But a very well balanced subcompact crossover SUV. I like the sound coming from underneath the hood. It's not all buzzy like you would traditionally find on an inline 4 engine. But like I was saying, the handling is really superb. All-wheel drive grips nicely. On throttle, here we go. But yeah, that's the other part of the puzzle, is that the all-wheel drive system in this vehicle is well developed, balances nicely between the front wheels and the rear wheels. It's a actual mechanical all-wheel drive system, so you have a drive shaft connecting the front to the rear. That little chirp is your blind spot monitoring, letting you know that somebody's there. And I really like the way it shows up nicely on the dash and the head-up display. So it really has you covered well for while you're navigating. Going down the road, very quiet in here. Super smooth. Suspension doesn't beat you up, although it does have that sporty edge to it. And then the acceleration you're gonna love. You're able to get out of your own way very quickly. Nobody on a skateboard or in a wheelchair is gonna pass you. Like what could possibly happen in the Honda HR-V. And then I'm fine with the 6-speed, like I said. I know for fuel economy reasons, maybe an 8-speed is really gonna help play a big part, but overall you're getting good fuel economy, and it's the power and how it goes through the rev range as you're going through the gears with the 6-speed automatic. But as you can see, navigating the busy streets, this thing is a great size. It does not feel on the inside as small as an SUV as it is on the outside. And I'm really digging that. But really the best part is how the vehicle handles. I mean, that puts the smile on your face at the end of the day. All right, guys, let's go on throttle again. On throttle, here we go. Really, really smooth. It does put a smile on your face, especially on the right road. If you get a nice twisty road around where you live, this is gonna make traveling that much more of an engaging experience, and that's what Mazda is all about. It really, really is. Look at this. Really gets the power down nicely. Through that all-wheel drive system. But hopefully this has been a nice overall review for you on the Mazda CX-30. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'm gonna see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a zoom kind of day here on Rady's Rides. Definitely want to give a big, huge thank you to everybody at Mazda USA for allowing us access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Would you take this over a Honda HR-V, or are you gonna go with the newly redesigned subcompact from Honda? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. We got to give it up to Stephen Flood. Stephen Flood Photo. Follow him on Instagram. Show him some love in the comment section. Let him know how you feel about his photography, because he thinks he's doing a good job, and I have to agree with him. But I want to know what you'd have to think. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.